is it safe to say that you always wanted to be a wedding planner, or were you doing something else and then wedding planning fell on your lap?
Oh, it fell on my lap. It was
Wow.
not on the
Yeah.
radar at
Yeah.
all. So I'm like a science geek. I'm a science nerd. I went to school. I'm a science student. So
Yeah.
I studied microbiology,
What?
botany, focused on microbiology in university. Yes, I'm a science student. I have a BSc in microbiology. So imagine, maybe that's where the attention to detail comes in. But yes,
Yeah.
so I was on the trajectory of going into medical school. My dad was a doctor, African household. My dad is a doctor. You have to be a doctor, kind of, but not really.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that didn't work out. So even after school, after university, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So this is me. I'm not in medical school. In my head, I've been in my head. I've had in my head to be like a medical doctor for years, and
Yeah.
that didn't work out. So now I'm like, okay, what do I do? I have no idea.
Yeah.
So after school, I was just looking for work and everything. And during that time too, I two friends of mine from university were getting married, so I was helping them plan their wedding, right? So in helping them plan their wedding, I was like, there could be something here. You know what I mean? So like there were all these creative ideas that came from planning their wedding, and things that I was doing with my hand, and just getting very creative with how the event should go. And that definitely sparked an interest over there. Of course, at the time, I'm also still trying to see if I could be a lawyer, because I didn't know I couldn't be a doctor. I know.
Yeah.
I know. It didn't immediately click to me that I could start my own business, because that was never an idea. That was never a thing,
Yeah.
So so I'm trying to find a job in an office while trying to go into law school, but not really, because it's also not my passion. And then I'm helping them plan their wedding. And then while I'm trying to find a job, and I have to do national service at this time too, right? So national service is what we do after university. So during the whole national service time, I start working on gift hampers, which is also not related, but kind of. But it just also brought out my very creative side of putting things together. I did it very uniquely in wrapping them in fabric baskets. Oh my gosh. You're making me go back in time. This was literally like 50 years ago. So yeah, so I'm doing that. I'm carrying the baskets to the studios, and they're shooting it. I'm doing flyers. I'm doing pop-ups. And at the same time, so while this is happening, I'm also online. At that time, it was just Facebook. So I'm also online on Facebook. I can't even remember how I did it, but then I used to do these collages. I'll pick different photos from Google, put them all together, like color code them, put them all together, start posting on Instagram. I'm a wedding planner. I had no idea about it, but I said I was. What was very clear though was that I did not want to be a decorator. That there were quite a number of decorators in Ghana, but I had not really come across a wedding planner who did just that, So I started kind of posting, putting word out, wedding planning. I would let my friends who are traveling, I would buy a wedding planning book to learn about it. I just started investing in myself and in the craft. And then my very first client came from Facebook, funny enough. So this gentleman, he was Nigerian. And, at the time, I think wedding planning versus wedding decorators were very separate in Nigeria, but it wasn't a thing in Ghana. So this guy was Nigerian, but he lived in Ghana and was marrying a Ghanaian lady. He reached out to me on Facebook and it's like, yes, he's looking for a wedding planner. I'm like, okay. And then I have this thing where when I start something, right? I always like, yeah, we do this all the time. So yeah, I have this thing where when I start something, I like the very first time I do it, if I give the impression like I've been doing it forever, because otherwise confidence, right? They have to believe you, know? So I did that event for the first time. And with that particular event, which is very interesting, I've literally tried to find the location for the longest time. I cannot find it. It was literally a little bar in Westland somewhere. I can't find it. That's literally where we did the reception. And it was just me. I did it solo. Now I think about
So
it,
you
it's
had no
mind
you had
blowing.
no staff, like
I
no
had
one
no
helping you.
staff. I,
That's
I had
crazy.
no staff at that time. It was just me. And well, there was this other guy, but he did the decor. But in terms of the planning, it was just me. And I remember helping them tie their gifts and like I did everything. And after that event is when I recognized that I needed an assistant,
Mm.
right? So I finished that event. They were happy. And I didn't have any photos or anything of it, but I still kept doing the socials. And then the next event that I did was literally my ideal client. It was like the event that kind of set the tone for Purple Twirl with all of the events. So I was very, very blessed. I don't take it for granted at all. I was very blessed to have my ideal client from the very beginning when I started all the way till now. So she was my ideal client, but she was also my friend, you know. So I did her wedding, and it was one of the most beautiful weddings, most very, very creative. I remember it was so creative because initially she wanted like a rainbow. Her colors were like rainbow. I was like, okay, that's cool and everything, but it's also crazy, but we'll make it work, you know? So although she had the rainbow colors, I convinced her that the main color should be white, and then there should be accents of the rest of the colors that she wanted. And it worked out so beautifully. So from that event, I got another referral, and then another one, and another, and then it just
It makes me realize, from the African perspective, like within the African creative and culture sector, how much the creative industry is actually creating so many jobs. Like there's so many jobs that wouldn't have existed before.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, and that's what it is. It's like people see the opportunity and they create a business out of it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I am surprised at some of the jobs that
Yeah.
that I come across.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm sure with the expansion of the wedding industry, because I read somewhere that I think globally the wedding industry is valued at like $800 billion and counting. It's projected to be valued over 1.3 trillion. I haven't been able to find the numbers for Africa. I think that Africa probably would be like, I just think maybe they didn't count the whole of Africa, when they were accounting for the global industry.
Possible.
Yeah.
Very possible.
Yeah. So I mean, so from that perspective, if I'm somebody who's sitting outside of the wedding industry and you work within it, would you say that it's like it's a business that's lucrative? Like what makes it lucrative? Is it shaky? Because for me, from where I'm sitting, I'm thinking like the bigger the industry grows, the more money I'm making as a business,
Yeah.
But your perspective, is it something that's lucrative or that kind of thing?
It is lucrative. It is lucrative. But my thing is, if you're coming into the wedding industry and you're trying to have longevity, you have to do it well. So you can't be lucrative, but then in order for your business to survive and go longer, you have to put things in place, and you have to, as much as possible, provide or give out like the best possible service or products that you can. Because you can, although it's lucrative, it's also very saturated, right?
Yes, yeah.
Especially in Ghana at this moment, it's very saturated. So you need a way to stand out. And to stand out, like give off your best. And I feel like that's the best way that your business will last with time. Because what it is if you're giving off a service or a product, I feel, especially for services, I feel like your clients are like your best marketing tool.
Yes.
They are the best people that will go out and say you do an amazing job. And it's the same way if you're doing a bad job, that's how you will fall off as quickly. So that's why you have to be very intentional about providing the best product or providing the best service consistently improving yourself, improving your business to be able to last over time.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Salary Scramble with Lee Kasumba. Hit like, share, and subscribe. Find us everywhere. The real stories begin.